Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of answering faith-based questions. I'm Sophie, this is Vespa. Let's get right into it. How has your relationship with Christ changed over time? So much taller than me because you're sitting on your feet.
Stop. Here.
I'm 5'7", so that's like really high.
Stop. Here.
Sit on my feet.
Oh, I'm gonna have a bad whatever. Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Yes. How has your relationship with Jesus changed over time?
Okay, when I was 8, I feel like that's when I kind of woke up to the world. I was like, I got baptized. Then I was just like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Everything's going to be so easy. Black, white, easy. I can figure out what's bad and what's good and everything. And I know everything. But, I think as when I turned 12 or when I started becoming into my teen years, I was just like, oh, wait, everything's a lot more shaded and there's a lot of things that you have to pick out and stuff. So I feel like for especially in the past couple months, I've been trying to get better at asking about everything. It's hard. You have to ask about every little detail. I remember watching this podcast with my mom or whatever, and the girl was just like, yeah, I have gotten to the point where I'm asking about every little detail. I got out sandwich makings, and I had both breads, and I was going to make my peanut butter and jelly, and I asked God, which side should the jelly go on and which side should the peanut butter go on? And I was like, oh my gosh. But she's like, I got an answer. I was just like, this one's up to you. This is up to you. I love on how you're asking for everything. This is nice, but you can make this decision.
I think, when I've prayed for stuff, I've never been good at seeing an answer. Or when something happened, I was saying, I couldn't see how that was how we were so lucky that we didn't get squished. I was like, we didn't get squished. Okay. So I've never really been good at seeing his hand in my life. And I think at some point, I don't know. Okay, I kind of do know. I was 13 and I was having some trouble with some friends, and I prayed and I was like, please just send me some new friends. I feel like these friends aren't very nice, and I'm having a hard time with the girls in my area. I don't these people don't seem like my type of people. Please send me some new friends. I was thinking he was just gonna send a friend my way. And then a few days later, my mom was like, hey, you know how me and your dad have been talking about moving? Well, we're moving. And I was like, anyways, long story short, we moved.
Yeah.
And I was really bummed. I was like, oh, I don't have any of my friends. Why did we have to move? And then I went to church for the first day of church. And I'm sitting there, I was sitting like this. Do you remember this? I was sitting like this because the last girls at my church were so mean. And I was so, I didn't like church because the girls were mean. And it was scary. And so I was sitting like this. And I remember Vespa, and we have another friend, and she was sitting there. And they were both on the edges of their seats, waiting for class to be over to come say hi to me. And class ended, and they were like, hi, how old are you? And you're our age, right? And we're pretty close to the same age. And it was instant best friends, kind of type of situation.
It was a kind of a blessing for her and I too. I'm not lying when I say this though, because just a month or a couple weeks before, our church got smaller. A lot of the, I don't know, they
split.
And we were just talking. I remember her and I being like, oh, this is so sad. All of our everyone we know is not here anymore, and it's just us. We're there's no one else really here.
There was a few girls.
There's a few girls,
not
but
really any that were close to your guys' age.
Yeah, so we were just this is terrible. I wish we had more people here, and like when we have activities, we're the only ones and everything. So I remember us being like really sad about that. And when we saw you, I remember looking at, or look at, whatever, it's fine. I remember looking at her and being like, wait, there's a new girl here. We need to go like ambush her and be like, ah, you're here, you're our miracle.
Yeah, that was like, it was actually the sending of a friend. I was like praying so hard for new friends. And then instead of just getting a new friend, I got a whole new set of friends and potential friends. And like,
you got ambushed.
yeah, like literally, I think they were like, what's your number? I was like, oh, I don't have a phone there. What's your email? Can we text through this instead? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then our other friend, she like came out, she like drove out to my house. Her dad was like, you can drive. So she drove out to my house. Is she gonna get arrested for that?
She didn't say that.
Yeah, she like drove out to our house, and like I remember me thinking she was kind of weird because we were like, oh, we don't really have any chairs yet because we just moved. She sat down on the bare floor and just sat on the floor with me, and I was like, okay, this is really cool. And then we went to a pool, and this other friend of ours was like kind of popular and like knew a lot of people. So she was like talking to all those people. And I was like, hey, because I kind of connected with her more originally. And I was like trying to talk to her, and she's like, oh, I'm like talking to these people. And it's not like she was being mean. She just knows a lot of people, and she wanted to be welcoming to them. So I was like, and then I was like, can I just hang out with you? I don't know the people she's talking to. And that's kind of where our story started. But
in the beginning.
Anyways, the question was, how has your relationship with Christ changed over time? I've been able to find the messages a lot more easily since then. I still really have to look, because there's sometimes that I'm just like, God isn't here. Where are you? And like, yeah. So it's changed, because I feel like it's either me looking for it more or him being like, she's already went through this stuff of looking for these messages. Now I'll just make it a little bit easier on her. So thank you, God, for doing that for me. whatever it was that happened, I'm thankful.
Aww.
The fifth question is, what is your favorite scripture?
Okay, I have... Did I just take it off? I have a bracelet, actually, that actually says it. I want to read the full thing because it's really fun. But I remember getting this bracelet it was like a church day activity for all the like young people, like young, what's that called? Teens, I guess? Yeah. Teens. Yeah. And we got handed these bracelets, and like there was a bunch of them, and we got put into groups so we could go like do different things and stuff. So I remember getting this one, and it says, on the bracelet, it says, love is patient and love is kind. And it's from 1 Corinthians. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 13:4. And then the real thing says, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails. And then, right after that, I got this Bible at Christmas time, and I think this was one of the first things I highlighted. And I kind of forgot I put this in here until this morning. I was like, oh, this is so cute. It says, Jesus is the key to love. So, anyway.
I really like that you wrote that, because I feel like we both mentioned that in a guy, we want somebody who, like, believes in Jesus. And I feel like the best and really the only way to get a good relationship is build it on Christ.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you have one?
I do. So this was like the teens in the church, like they had a theme.
Yeah.
And it was Philippians 4:13,
Mhm.
which is a really short one, but it is, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. And I used to be a cross-country runner. I mean, I don't really run anymore because I have really bad knees. But during the races, I remember it being like really hard, being really out of breath and just like wanting to die because it was so
Yeah.
And during those times, I would just like, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. And like just repeating that over and over as I was running. And I think because I did that, it kind of became an instinct for my brain whenever something hard's happened. And like anytime I struggle with something, to be like, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. Which just reminds me, like, gotta say a prayer, you gotta do all these things, like, just, he can strengthen you. Make you get big muscles. What is something God has taught you recently?
I mean, I know you said a little bit about this last week, but like obedience to start this podcast to all of our viewers who hopefully it's not just the guy in her closet.
First, let me start with why. Why what, says future Sophie who forgot why. Or anyone else who's reading. Friends, husband, kids, or a creepy guy in my closet. I feel like, oh, what's a recent message that I've learned? I think being nice.
Hey, it's not bad.
No, I'm not a very nice person.
I know. Hey,
you aren't either. I'm kidding. Yeah, I've never been like a super nice person. I've always been kind of a sass. I've always been kind of sassy, and like, I don't know, I snap a lot where I just get like overwhelmed and frustrated, and then I'm just like, ah. I think I've actually done that one time when I was stressed. I was just like, ah. But like, I feel like I'm still not great at it. I think I'm learning more. That's how recent it is. I've just barely started learning how to not be mean.
Hey.
But I feel like I'm nice to other people now. Like, I used to be kind of a jerk to even people outside my family. And like, I wasn't like bullying them. I was just not very nice.
Like some kid on the street, like, hey,
what up? I'm a bully.
Back off.
Like, give me your lunch money. Like, no, I wasn't like that. I was just kind of like when I would make snarky remarks or and stuff like that. But I guess the next thing that I want to learn is how to be nicer to my family, because when I'm with people and like out in public, I'm like really nice. And that's why I said to somebody that I used to be really mean, and they were like, "What? No, you're not. You're like the nicest person I know." And I was like, I wasn't always like this. You haven't known me my whole life. I have some friends who can testify I was a jerk. And then with my family, now I'm nice to other people, but with my family, I'm still kind of like, I think a lot of teenagers are. I hope. I mean, I don't really hope other teenagers are like that, but I also kind of hope that I'm not the only one who's just a jerk. What does it really mean to follow Jesus in today's world? You know, I think that's a really good question, because I feel like even us two who have started a podcast, because, you know, why not? I feel like we don't even really know. Like, I mean, I guess we kind of do.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like to follow Jesus, I mean, I'd say we're following Jesus right now. We're spreading it across the world. Oh, yeah, except for not for everybody, because we don't speak every language.
Konnichiwa.
Google Translate. Insert here.
Yeah. So
gotta add the symbol there.
I'm gonna go make sure it's still recording, because I've been like anxiety stomach this whole time, me too. Feeling like it's not. Okay, still. It has 38 minutes. What?
We're gonna have to turn this into 4 parts. No, because We're only halfway through! I mean,
Sorry.
we should leave this in there just to be funny. They're just like, Hey guys, it's the end. If you made it this far, comment your favorite Bible verse. Thanks for listening. Bye.